A word for our listeners. Season 2 of Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It's not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring George Chimples, Rob Walker, Phil Durham, Shirley Niedzwiecki, and Jestin Kimmet, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm Matt, and I'm here with Rob.
I'm having a great time, and Dragon's Lair was a good game.
Shirleyna.
Shirleyna?
You know what?
She can't even stop giggling.
We can get to you, and I can use the last nickname I used, and you got really mad.
What was that?
Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton. Isn't that weird?
Do you remember
George?
that episode of The Next Generation where they put him into one of those proton tubes and shot him in the sun and he kept yelling?
No.
And Picard was just laughing the whole time and
No, I
said,
don't remember that.
"You deserve this, Wesley. This is exactly what you get."
Rob would like something.
And then Q gave him a high five.
Oh, that's it. Sorry.
Damn it.
So, and Phil. Phil, you're there too.
Yeah, but...
And also there was Phil.
Hey Phil, how's it going?
I have coffee now. That makes me happier.
Yay! Hopefully the coffee's helping you not be sick.
I was going to have some cider, but they're out.
Yeah, we're having sausages and cider, and Rob's not welcome.
Nope.
Well, I mean, it's no full George, but
I'm a
I
mess
suppose
of it.
it's something.
I have not had one of those in way too long. Oh, that's why my energy's been so bad.
Did you see the look on his face of George going, I have to dial this down. I can't go full George about the full George. I have to reel it in. I could see it. I saw it. I appreciate it.
I have to be up in the morning, so let's get this rolling.
All right, so you guys all need to give me sanity checks.
Yay! I totally passed that.
I doubt it.
I did. I didn't mean I got to get crap load of sanity loss anyways.
Failed.
It's like, at what point in time do I just like totally lose it?
You have to lose 20% of your sanity in an hour,
Oh, okay.
or all of your sanity.
Okay.
I have to look up certain people to see what the
What's
sanity loss is.
20% of
I
Will
can't-
she lose sanity when I chop off the snake eye's head and put it on my head and start dancing in front of her going, I'm a snake boy?
Oh, God, no.
I didn't hear your question, Shirley.
Everything about the things you just said make me even happier now.
Snake dance.
No, the thing is, what that reminds me of is that viral video that went viral. Oh, that kid.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
As opposed to the viral video that got cured.
No, do you remember there was that video that went viral?
Remember that viral video that had a virality to
It
it?
was the one video.
The one, oh, that one? I remember that
Your
one.
guys' ass.
All right, so, Shirley,
Was the pox, right?
No, it's
what was your
not.
question about sanity?
What's
Snake
20?
dance.
What's 20% of 15?
30.
You only have 30 sanity?
34.
We're losing. We're losing her soon.
Be like 7.
Okay. I just lost 2, so I'm good.
Did you seriously? How did you lose 2?
Because the last time I lost and this time I lost.
You haven't
1.
lost any yet because I haven't told you what you lose. You don't
Oh,
get to just
God.
assume.
I don't want to roll a d6. Just say 1.
If you failed your sanity check, you roll a d6. What was your sanity at that you've lost this much?
I don't know what you've done to me. So I just lost 20% of my
Oh!
Did you roll? No, because the other one was a while ago. It's within a game hour.
sanity. Like,
Yours is 6 point something. We're gonna call it 7.
okay, I lost 5. Plus the 1 from just the last time that you asked us to roll.
Which has been a while ago.
Oh, okay.
I had to go all the way to the hospital, all the way back, then all the way back to the hospital, then down the stairs to visit the snake guys. That had to have taken more than an
So
hour.
all I need to do is just take a walk and I'll be fine.
Not if you take walks
No.
like I do.
Okay, so if you failed, you lose a d6. If you succeeded, you still lose 1.
Okay.
Wow, Carlos failed too. That's rough.
No, that's right. I always lose my sanity checks.
It would be awesome
Keeper.
if we didn't do any more
Yes,
sanity rolls.
Blake.
This game.
Blake loses 5 sanity. If you could mark that
I
on the
thought it was
sheet.
Brian.
His name is Brian Blake.
I have a.
That's
And in the
Blake has a
military, you
bunch.
tend to use last name.
For the
first name.
record, you're not doing much better than Shirley's character. You're at 37 now.
I'm at.
What, no, she just lost more. So
Right,
yeah,
but
I'm at 31.
I said not doing much better. Much.
well, then we're playing the game right.
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 So,
Hey, Shirley, are there any spells you want to cast?
looking at the bodies, their left arm is missing from about mid wrist or mid forearm down.
So there's nothing wrong.
What?
So there's nothing wrong.
Oh my God.
No, there is. The arm is missing. The
Yeah,
hand is missing.
I don't think you were listening, Rob. The hand is missing. It's missing. That's something
There's
wrong.
nothing wrong.
No,
Yeah,
the,
something's
the,
wrong.
No, I don't think you're getting it. The hand is missing. So there's a stump there.
The stump itself looks like it's been bitten off. Whatever their hand was bitten off of the arm. And they're both kind of uniform. Like it looks like the same teeth marks as far as where it cuts off. The snakes themselves, their bodies don't look particularly heavily muscled, but they're the areas that the skin is open, the muscles seem thicker and tougher than what normal humans would.
There's signs of death on these things.
What do you mean signs of death?
They're cut open. That's a pretty good sign of death.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, did someone shoot him in the head? Or
Oh yeah, they've got bullet wounds.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not necessarily good bullet wounds. It looks like probably lots of shots went into them.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What's a good bullet wound?
Like nobody one shotted him in the head.
Okay.
It wasn't a clean game hunt.
I still think that's a bad bullet.
It depends on
Sure.
which side you're on, I guess.
Yeah. If you're on, it sounds like the Oprahs are trying to take him down.
The Oprahs?
What?
The ORVAs.
The Ovras?
That's really stretchy.
Whoa.
Okay.
Pressing on.
Yeah, so any questions you guys have about these dead snake bodies?
I assume their eyes look like snake eyes.
Yeah. They have forked tongues. Their feet have 3 claws in the front, none in the back. It
No
looks like just
clothing?
a foot with they have tattered robes.
Ah.
Why
The
are
robe.
they still in robes if they're being
Oh, you know what? That's a solid point. They
Anatomy.
don't, but their robes are nearby.
Is there
Thank you.
anything? Do the robes have
Tommy.
pockets?
Yes, but they're empty.
Thank you, Jorge.
Search for traps.
Do I have any knowledge of what these things are, having seen them?
You can roll Cthulhu Mythos.
I have Cthulhu Mythos.
Actually, everybody can just mark a point of Cthulhu Mythos except Rob's character, who still has yet to believe.
Yeah, I believe in the different things. I'm gonna double ought.
You rolled a what?
No, I said I'm at double ought. I can't. Why would I even roll?
Right. What'd you get, Blake? Okay.
I got a 69, sorry. For some reason I couldn't
Nice.
spell Cthulhu, so I couldn't find it on the sheet.
It's alphabetical, starts with a C.
Yes, but then it's a T, not an H.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
K2Lu.
Hello.
Yeah, you have heard rumors of serpent people. Actually, Shirley,
Is a serpent person.
you have heard of a story from Weld about these ancient snake people that used to rule the earth. You always thought he was telling it to you in like half of a joke, because Weld was never quite right.
So now I need to roll sanity because I'm
No.
realizing that it's a real story. and
No,
not a
because you don't
joke.
know if what he was telling you was true or if this is just something weird and isolated.
Told you it's reptilians.
They're not reptilians; they're
Right.
snakes.
A snake is a reptile.
They're water snakes. Now they're
I
amphibians.
recall
What?
the story.
Water snakes are not amphibians either. Those are
No,
also
they're still
reptiles.
reptiles.
I know.
It's not the frog aliens. It's the reptilians.
Frog aliens.
Reptiloids.
Yeah, it depends on which ancient aliens you're into.
David Icke.
Yep.
Check it out.
Lizard people.
They don't call them that. That's not their appropriate nomenclature.
George, remind me to tell you about my Illuminati lizard people rant this week
Oh boy.
later. So, yeah. So the bodies. Any other questions, thoughts? What are you guys doing with those?
I mean, what do we do?
I'm going to take a closer look at the intact claw.
Okay.
Good call.
I'm gonna push Astor towards the safe.
Good call.
What are you looking for there, Brian?
So, Crazy Man said that he got clawed. So,
Yeah.
like, if there's anything, like, I don't know what, I know you mentioned various things about his appearance, but anything that, like, is it just a claw? Is there, like, something where, like, maybe there's
Can you roll forensics
something
for
you
me?
could, like, puncture and, like, inject a venom or
Yeah, yeah.
psychotropic agent or...
Roll forensics or medicine, whichever one you have higher.
All right, let me go find those.
Which honestly is probably neither.
Yeah.
So 5 or 5. And I got a 38.
You look, you can see under the claw. You can see the claws have blood on them. Under the claw, there are scraps of clothing. You don't know beyond that really how it would work, other than their big honking claws. These are like if your finger ended in a claw instead of a fingertip, that's what these look like. But these are like, you know how guys with huge hands have like sausage fingers? That's kind of what these look like. Like imagine if Christian Narn had claws at the end of his hands. That's Hodor for you guys. Sorry, Hodor.
I still don't know who you're talking about.
Or imagine if
DJ.
Shaq, the basketball player.
Yeah, it didn't help.
I know. So anyway,
Imagine Kazam the genie, the hip hopping genie.
Gotcha. That makes more sense to me.
Imagine if he was whatever Matt was saying.
Do what?
That is Shaq.
yeah, that is Shaq. Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq.
It's Shaq.
You're spelling that incredibly incorrectly.
Oh my gosh.
The Love Shack.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
That's a little place.
Okay,
where,
so yeah, they're huge, thick fingers with big, thick claws at the end.
Can I try to crack this safe now?
Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for Brian to make sure he was finished. You go right ahead and roll your locksmith.
Got it.
So you pop the safe, and yeah, there's a couple of folders in there. Some biological samples that are kind of, put in things that you would put those in. Dishes. There we go. Petri dishes. There's the words. Thank God. But there's not much else in there. You gonna go look at the notes?
Yes.
So the notes, there's a lot there. A lot of it is stuff you don't understand because you're not a trained doctor.
Okay.
But you get from the gist of it that they are studying these. They're called specimens or snake specimens. It's left clearly vague on what they are because either they don't know or they don't want to reference where they came from because they want to leave it. They want only people that know what they're looking at to be able to read it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like the time that we found the thing in the thing, the thing. It's leaving it vague enough that you would have to know exactly what's going on to understand the deeper implications of
I'm
what they're
taking the
explaining.
notes
Okay.
and the samples.
Okay.
Anything else in there?
Nope. That's it.
Okay, I'm taking all that.
All right.
I'll put it in my pocket.
Anything else, guys? Excellent. So, you guys are headed back to the hotel?
Yes.
Real quick, just kind of looking at the skin
Sure.
and the gunshot wounds. Does it look like the skin is would provide armor, like they would take less damage from?
Roll first aid. Or medicine if you have it. It's higher than that, but I think it's best first aid is probably what you guys have.
Hey, I get a 5.
Oh, okay. So what you can tell is none of the bullets went all the way through the body. They were all in the body. There are no exit wounds in the back. Which basic gun, knowledge tells you that they stopped the velocity enough to keep it from exiting, which means that the skin is relatively thick, or is thick enough to provide a relatively low amount of armor. You can also see that the scales themselves have a thickness to it where they've been cut open. And these are not... They didn't use little scalpels to cut this stuff open. They had to use knives. because it's a very heavy, thick. What do you call that? Scale.
Okay, one last thing is also, do they have like any sign of like ears?
No. They have holes.
Like snakes should.
Yeah.
What about their tongues?
They
Roll
are
your
they're
herpetology.
forked.
We covered that already.
We did. He may not have heard it.
Ah.
So you guys are headed back to the hotel.
Yeah.
All right. It's pretty late in the evening, or pretty late at night by the time you guys get back and get settled. Are you going to bed? You get back and the statue has curled up kind of in a corner. He has turned over the couch and the chair to kind of barricade himself in there. And were it not for the fact that he had turned stuff over, you wouldn't have been able to see him. He has protected himself and covered himself and hidden.
Newt, got it.
I'll give him a blanket.
Oh, he's
Let's say-
under blankets and pillows and cushions.
He made a fort.
Okay.
Yeah, he made a fort. He clearly made a fort.
Newt, got it.
I mean, it's weird, but it's not dangerous. Nothing else seems to be missing.
That's
no
a
more
good call.
postcards missing.
No. So the night goes by. Everybody sleeps. It's the next day. What are you guys doing?
No crazy dreams.
No, nobody's interested in dreams this time.
Yeah.
Who's paying for this hotel room?
You guys are.
How are we? I don't
You guys have
anybody.
cash.
Do
No,
I?
no. It was established that when you were sent into Vienna, you were given cash.
I don't.
Also, you still have the remnants of Augustus's safe. What he didn't pay the girl.
I'm going to order us up some breakfast and a barber.
Oh, okay. For you?
No, for our friend here.
Oh, good. Are you resetting the furniture?
When he's awake, I'll ask him if it's okay.
Yeah, he's fine with that.
Okay.
So the barber comes up and the statue is very, very concerned, but eventually lets the barber shave him and trim his hair.
He had an upset.
The barber understands. Like you kind of walk him through like he's going to be skittish. It's fine, but he gets cleaned up. Now that he's had a nice sleep and has been trimmed and shaved, he is clearly an attractive male in his probably mid 20s.
Not ready for the cyclone yet.
What? Oh yeah, not ready for the cyclone yet. Yeah, because he's in his mid
carousel.
20s. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
So yeah, everything's good. What are you guys doing?
Time to go to. Well, the van drove off towards the Vatican. That's where they're doing the road work and the
Right.
construction work.
Mm-hmm.
I think that may be our next step.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Postulated to the group.
Can we get any explosives or anything? What is our goal
We
here?
have pineapple
Right,
grenades.
I was just getting ready
Yeah,
to say,
pineapple
what
grenades
is
aren't
our-
going to bring down
what's our
tunnels.
goal?
Well, you as a reminder, you have two kind of things that you came to Rome for. Well, you came to Rome for one reason, and there's another thing that kind of interests you. Ehrlichman's journal does mention Rome as a place that holds one of the items from something. It's very unclear, but it's Atlantean in origin, and the Nachtwolfe are going to be interested in it.
And so Shirley's character, Evelyn, is reading this. You're still reading the journal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but this was also made pretty plain to everybody else as well
Okay.
at one point. And then the second thing is you were stopped and told that Pasquano was missing by an agent in Vienna. Lucretia sent word to you guys to have you come or to have someone come down and help. So you're the contact that was made, and that's why you came here, was to help find Pasquano, and now you can't find Lucretia either. So, whatever the
But
next
this
step
is
is.
Pasquano.
Yes, but we don't know where Lucretia is because her stationery store has been trashed and shut down by the OVRA, the Avra.
Well, I think we should just blow up this tunnel full of snake people.
Did tunnels stop? Did blown up tunnels stop snake people? I mean,
Well,
they
when,
live
like-
inherently underground, apparently.
Heavy rocks fall on your head. It crushes skulls and things.
That doesn't assume you get them all.
Let's just leave them there. You're right. Let's just let them do their thing.
Yeah, that seems safe.
We can go and investigate that. I don't know where Lucretia would be.
What would our departmental training say is where a message would be left?
You would at this point need to send a message out. And without Pasquano being in his right mind or Lucretia being here, you're not sure how that normally is done. You could probably figure it out or figure out a way, but you don't have a standard way to do it. And by this point, they're probably aware that Pasquano's missing, and they may be aware also that Lucretia's missing.
Intelligences, you mean?
Yeah.
Let's go investigate this thing.
Which thing?
Tunnels.
People?
Yeah. You're gonna leave him in the. You're gonna leave the statue in the room by himself again, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just asking where the statue is at. No, I'm not necessarily going to screw you guys over because of the statue.
Mm-hmm.
No, not because of the statue.
Is this? Are you just encouraging us to kill him and put him in a river?
No.
Because I'll do it.
Like, what's the unspoken thing here? Is it to like shoot him and put him in rivers or something?
Because I'll do it.
No.
Because if that's what you want, just say it.
I got you covered.
So you guys head down towards the construction area. You see a couple other places that are under construction that look like normal 1939 road construction. So the crews, are working. They're normal paid workers. Everything looks fine. Are
there openings to the underground at these?
No, they've ripped up some of the ground and the streets, and they're repaving it. When you get to the construction site for where you're looking to, where supposedly the statue was, what you find is a walled off area of the road with military guards outside, clearly buildings inside, and like temporary structures, and like guards moving around outside as well as inside, and trucks going in and out.
Italian military.
Yes, you do also notice there is at least 2 or 3 Nachtwolfe agents or Nachtwolfe soldiers.
They got the signature.
Yeah, they're clearly in their German uniforms, and they clearly have the insignia on their clothing.
This seems like where we need to be then.
Do they look like they want like some money or something?
I'm not sure what the joke there is.
Like maybe if we give them a couple bucks, let's go in and check it out.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Back to this daytime operations.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Go buy yourself some cigarettes, boys.
On good old U.S. of A. No, wait, that's Europe now. That's good on England.
There are 4 Italian soldiers outside. The Nachtwolfe soldiers are inside the wall, and there's a lot of activity going on in there.
So there isn't a good way in yet.
No, you might be able to get a better viewpoint from on top of one of the buildings nearby to see down in, but it's, who knows?
We have 4 grenades.
Yes. I like when questions start that way. We have how many grenades do we have?
Are any of the buildings close so we could just drop them on these people?
Not close enough. No. You might be able to throw them in if your throw was good enough.
If we go back to our mythical slingshot.
How long would it take us to train like a good throwing arm? Like a couple
6
weeks?
to 8 months.
Okay, we've got. How long will our money last for this hotel?
Maybe a week.
What if I calm down on the room service?
Maybe a week and a half.
Okay, so I'm not losing out much on this room service thing, guys. Just want to let you know. Gonna be going with that.
I like where your head is at. We're really going in the right direction.
Do you guys want to find a better vantage point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So after a little bit of like maneuvering around and looking for the best place, you guys end up on a roof of one of the residential buildings nearby. You can see down. There's probably.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
We all go up onto one roof?
I don't know. Do you all want to go up? I'm just going to describe the
It
scene.
can surely hold all 4 of us.
That doesn't look like weird as all get out and suspicious.
Because
It's Rome. It's a city of romance. It's not Paris. Quite as romantic as Paris, but it's still pretty romantic.
So Carlos, are you and I holding hands?
Yeah, sure. I don't care. If you and that's actually for Rome, and this is actually not me being like a fake jerk about Italians. Like in different cultures, like men do hold hands. That's fine. They're
I
friends.
saw it all the time in the Middle East. It
Yeah,
was
exactly.
weird to me, but
Yeah, so we're holding hands now.
Okay. So you guys get up on the roof and you can see down. There's maybe 24 guards. There are clearly people that are workers being moved to and from one of the shacks. The shack is not big enough to hold these workers. They're being
pronounced Shaquille.
Yes, the Shaquille. There's a building that's clearly been built to house the workers. There's maybe a dozen of them. The two buildings that are built, one is what looks clearly like an office. The other one's clearly the dormitory. The shack itself, the Shaquille, that they're being moved to, is not built up on stilts. And by stilts, I mean like probably 3 concrete block high stilt or legs. Like that's how far off the shack itself though is not like that. It goes all the way down to the ground, and it's on the. I want to say it's closest to St. Peter's Basilica.
Now you know what I got to ask, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the water source for these individuals?
They are bringing items, or they're bringing stuff in and out.
This is like a big water tank or a spring they're drawing water from.
No spring.
How can we best poison these people?
So the idea
You're an
is that
alchemist?
this one shack is where they're gaining entrance to the underground.
That would be the assumption. Yes.
Do we see any bulldozers?
No.
Backhoes?
No. There are tools being handed to the workers when they get to we're going to call it a shed.
What about those cargo loaders from Aliens? Any of those?
Nope, 0 of those.
Can you imagine Hitler just like walking around one of those things yelling at people?
Becca Hitler?
Yeah, that's right.
No, thank you.
That's kind of what he had in Wolfenstein, I think.
In one of them, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the old one.
The first one. The best one, I think.
Oh, the new ones are good. Anyways.
That's fine. I've not played the new ones, but the originals were super solid.
Oh, these are really good. They're nice and gory and violent.
Do they also have Mecha Hitlers?
They have mecha lots of things.
Cool.
So,
Like a Mecha Heine Ho?
yes, Mechaleka Heine Ho.
What is that?
I don't get your reference.
Are you both serious? You're not serious, right?
I don't know what. No,
Mechaleka High, Mecha Heine Ho?
What?
Are you both?
Lion King.
That's not.
That's Hakuna Matata.
Phil, what? No.
What a wonderful
Guys,
phrase.
this is Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, no, I don't know that.
Are you
What?
serious?
I remember he had a chair that like
Timon and
wanted him to
Pumbaa
sit on it
are
and it talked or
distracting
something.
them. What do they
I
do?
got a chair that freaking talks.
No.
Is that a song he sings?
What? No.
That's
his
the one
name
that Peter
Cherry?
Griffin sings whenever he turns his house into Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Does he have Cherry?
Yes.
Was that his name?
Cherry's a little. Yes, Cherry's the chair, but
That's
but
creative.
he has a genie in a box, and when he makes wishes, the genie says "Mechaleka High, Mecha Heine Ho." This is a thing, guys.
I've seen Pee-wee's Playhouse, but I was like
The la-
knee-high to a grasshopper.
The last time I saw it, I was 6.
Oh my god.
We're moving on. My world has been shattered. So you guys are looking down at this compound.
So how do we get in? I mean, obviously there's a good reason to get in. The Nachtwolfe are here.
The first thing I would say is let's roll an idea, but I'm not going to have you do that. I'm just going to give you the idea. It might be better at night.
Well, obviously, George.
I don't know about that.
I don't know you got enough money in your wallet to pay him off.
Inside the fence, the fenced wall, there are groups of guards going on patrol along the fence. So there's a barracks where the prisoners are being kept and an office, and then there's another barracks. And then the gate is between the barracks and the office.
So it's Italian military and Nachtwolfe, no orcas.
The Nachtwolfe are completely around the shed and not going on. They're not patrolling. They're not guarding. They're just hanging out by the shed.
All right.
Like
Do I see my uncle anywhere down
Nope.
there?
You do not.
I'm sorry. Is the shed and the shack two different things? I got confused.
The shed and the shack are the same thing. I'm calling it a shed, one, because the book says shed, so I'll remember it later. But two, also, I'm not calling it Shaquille.
He's lost interest in our game.
Between the prisoners' barracks and the office, there is a gap of fence that is not being patrolled. You can see that in the patrol's pattern that you're watching. There's a gap there. There's also a gap over by the what looks like a refuse heap that is also not being patrolled, but that would be potentially really nasty.
So how long would it take us
seems
to
like a
get through this
trap.
gap? I like this trap.
I'm sorry, there were two of you talking. One of you started a question. What was the question?
I forget now. Oh, yeah. So you said we could easily slip through that crack.
You would. I don't know about easily. It depends on how sturdy the fence is right there.
Who's got good power?
You mean POW?
Strength.
Oh, okay.
I have a strength of 12. I also have a size of 15. I'm probably not fitting through any fences.
I got a strength of 14.
I got a strength of 12.
Wow,
Yes,
you're as strong as
of
Blake.
10. Yeah.
Jorge.
Strength
He's
Jar.
probably got like 18 or something.
8.
Wow.
I'm the strongest
An
one
eight?
at a
Like
14.
an 8?
Yeah.
Huh.
My body's jacked up, man.
That's a valid point.
So you've got the
Alright.
strength. You've got the power.
I've got the power.
Do you have the touch?
You've got the touch. You've got the power. You don't know that one either, do you? That one's straight Japanese. You want to go to the fence
I want to go through the fence.
right now during middle of the day?
No, at night.
Okay.
I better get.
Are you guys
You
gonna
want to go to the garbage fence or the other fence?
the not
The
garbage
refuge
fence?
fence.
refugee fence?
No, he said refuse.
Refuse.
Yeah, I don't want to go through the refuse fence because if it makes us stinky, then we're dragging that stink around and it's easier to detect us.
Yeah, especially by those
Good
snakes.
call.
My
They
character would say
can
that
They
your
would have
character
to
doesn't
lick
smell
us
any
to
better.
know.
They just got to lick the air, yo.
So we're gonna all sleep on the roof until nighttime.
I think I just broke Shirley.
I mean, you can.
Okay.
Are you guys just gonna hang out on the roof until night?
No, we're gonna make George take a nap.
That's what I said. Was sleep on the roof.
He's got
We're gonna
meatballs and
feed him a
spaghetti
bunch
in
of pasta
bucket.
and meat so that he goes to take a nap.
That's how you fall asleep, right? You eat a bunch of food and then you immediately fall asleep.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
life
yeah.
is.
That's how
That-
Thanksgiving works.
Apparently, it doesn't work for your full George.
Full
But that's
George is
different.
not a lot of food.
and that's different. There's a lot of antioxidants in that.
Well, I don't know. Does Shirley, Evelyn, do you have your book?
The journal or her sketchbook? That's the
I have
question
my
she's not
I have
asking.
my sketchbook.
Her reading book.
Do you have your
No, I do
journal?
not.
Okay. The
Let's
journal.
go back and
Why
read that
would
journal.
I bring that out here?
Okay, so you guys want to go back to the hotel
Yes.
and wait until this evening?
How long
You
is
didn't
it?
leave it out where Statue Man could get it, did you?
No.
Statue
Everything is
Man.
locked in my trunk.
Okay, so you guys are going back to the hotel.
Yes.
Let's expedite that.
Sure.
Wasn't
No, that's
there a
fine. What?
professor that locked things in a trunk that was bad for the group?
Yeah, and then there was knocking on a door and
Yeah.
shotguns, and somebody didn't wake up, and then Jesse died.
Yep.
It's good night. It's good night. Rob's confused.
If you sleep through the fight, you can't take any damage.
That's true. That's true.
That's like shipping him back to the States.
Yeah.
So, you guys head back to the hotel. Oh man, on the break I was supposed to look for your stupid notebook.
You were.
So you go. You look. What are you looking through the notebook for anything specific, or the
Anything
Journal.
pertinent that would help us in this situation.
Um,
So, yes.
his notes on Rome mention that a piece of the Atlantean technology that is mentioned by the
Yes.
Black Stele, but it doesn't really say anything else about the specific location or anything like that.
I mean, if it isn't going to be any help.
She can get in 8 hours more of reading while we hang out and do cool stuff and wait
Yeah,
for
you
nighttime to
Eat
come.
and take naps.
Yeah, you can get in multiple
Okay.
hours of reading too.
All
I mean, you need to go back and look and see.
What
how
am I
much-
Can I
supposed
roll
be
to assist
learning
her on
from
reading?
this?
No. What'd you say, Shirley?
What am I supposed to be learning from this?
I am pulling it up. By fully studying it, you're going to understand what the Blackstone inscription is and how to read some of the hieroglyphics there. It's also going to give you a bump to occult and other things that
Alright.
will be helpful.
Okay.
So you will put in a total of 18 hours at the end of today.
Yes.
Okay.
How long have we been in Rome?
This will be your third day. Not very
Okay.
long.
Okay.
How's the coffee?
It's garbage, but it's coffee.
Oh.
Because
I wish you could see.
Brian
James' face.
confessed when he got there, so he's good.
You don't like cappuccinos?
I don't have an espresso machine here. I just have the hotel room single cup.
You can't Uber Eats that.
I was talking about in Rome. I forgot that you just had coffee. I was like, wow, stiff feelings on Italian coffee, but okay. Yeah, that sucks.
Oh yeah, no, Blake's doing cortados or something.
Is that like shots of coffee right to your veins, cortados?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's some sort of espresso thing. I think espresso. I think Italian.
I thought it was French.
Thinking Arby's, you're thinking roast beef.
We got
Okay, we're gonna get back to the game. So Shirley, you're gonna need a total of 96 hours to get the whole of the book.
Okay.
If I read
No,
alongside over her shoulder,
No.
does it go twice as fast?
no, it does not.
What if she reads it out loud?
No,
What if I do the voices while I read it to her?
yes, no.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna spend the day in the hotel room. You order lavish meals. No, you don't. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
So if she's reading and we're just waiting for the evening,
Mhm.
I'm going to start investigating how to contact.
Section D or Section M or whoever you work
section,
for.
yeah, Section M, I think it is. Or,
Okay.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yes, that's what I will do.
Okay.
Or you want to get rid of the liability?
With or without assistance.
Okay.
Can we roll to like try and assist the sun to move faster to make
Yes.
night
No.
come?
Is anybody helping Phil?
Are you going to cast a spell to move the sun?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
should
need
totally
to
cast
move this
spells.
one.
So yes, you can spend that time. Is anyone else helping Blake to find out how to contact the thing with the stuff?
I'm gonna do chit chat with
Statue.
our buddy over here. Yes.
The statue?
Yeah, sure.
Pasquale.
Pasquano.
Bat guano.
Pizza pie.
Okay. So Phil, you roll. Do you? I guess I could just look at your sheet.
Too bad I'm not there.
Wow, that's ridiculous. Go ahead and, I mean, hypothetically, you could go back to the church and have Grave send the message through. That's a safe way. It just may take a little bit more time.
And no one chose to go with me?
No, I'm just saying. I'm giving you ideas of what you can do. The other option is that you could.
I kind of like that idea if no one chooses to go with me.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll go with him.
Damn it, George.
This part. Can we go past it?
Other than that, it would be a matter of maybe sending a letter or finding another contact. Like you could send a letter hypothetically back to Vienna where you know there's a Section D agent and have them pass the information along through their contacts. But again, that could take time. That's probably going to take potentially at least a week.
As opposed to the not ever getting information
That's true. It's true.
option.
Okay. So yeah, you can write that letter out and code it up just a little bit so that I'm sure that you guys were given some sort of code to use.
I'll have Carlos check that I coded it correctly.
Okay. So you get that taken care of. Carlos, you actually do you want to role play this conversation with Pasquano, or are you just spending your day talking to him?
Basically, we don't need to role play it, but the kind of stuff, just it'd be a mixture of both, kind of just like reassuring him and making him feel kind of like normal and easing him back into normal life, but also kind of some inquiries. If he seems like he's getting freaked out or too out of it, like he wouldn't push the issue. But if he has any more knowledge of contacts that he would have had, communication methods.
He makes it very clear that he doesn't know the contacts that Nikki had. So he, in his mind, the more you talk to him, he's split himself into two separate people, and the other person to him is dead.
Okay.
So that knowledge is that person has. It's not something that he knows.
How does he plan to live as a statue?
As all statues live.
Quietly.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what that means.
He tells you a lot of things that just don't make a lot of sense. He's going to be very Marvel.
Of course.
he does tend to like to be, you know how when you sit in kind of the corner of the couch and the armrest and the back of the couch kind of envelop you a little bit, he likes to be in tight, kind of comfortable places. So as you talk to him, like anytime that he moves towards that kind of situation.
I'm gonna give him one of my coats.
Okay.
I'm smaller than him. It's
Right,
tighter.
right.
Okay.
It's this to me. Put him in a straight jacket.
Right. Nice. Nice, Rob. Rob, what is your character doing during the day? Are you gonna go back to the hospital and check it out again?
No, I'm just gonna kind of like plan and prepare.
Okay. So the rest of the day goes by pretty uneventfully. You guys get headed back out about probably an hour or so after dark descends. You notice that the guards outside, there are less there now. There's only 2 at the gate, and when you take time to look, there are no vehicles coming in and out. There were intermittent earlier. Now there are 0 vehicles coming in and out.
Work is done. Yay.
So let's see. I need all of you to make either fieldcraft or sneak rolls.
Got it.
Fail.
Oh, excellent. Phil?
Yes, by a lot. Like, I have tin cans tripping over.
Oh, you failed by a lot?
Yes.
Okay. Phil?
Not as much as me.
You failed?
91 over 40.
What does it mean when all the dice numbers
Oh.
are 0?
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect for me. So you guys approach the fence.
I passed.
Yes, you did. You guys approach the fence quietly. As you get close, Blake, you kick a can or something. You make a lot of noise all of a sudden, which kind of frightens the rest of them. Evelyn kind of stands straight up when that happens, and not screams so much as like kind of yelps. And you hear in Italian, if you speak Italian,
Yay.
what was that? And kind of around the corner of the fence comes one of the guards.
Scusa.
Buongiorno!
Poor favor.
Scusa.
I put myself flat up
Spaghetti.
against the fence
Poor
so to make
favor.
myself look like I'm not there.
I take off all my clothes to turn invisible.
Yes.
Look, we just turned into the frickin' Scooby Gang here. Come on now, people.
The guard has his rifle out and kind of pointed down, like in a ready to raise and fire kind of manner. Says, "Who's there?" in clear Italian.
Where am I at now?
You're probably right up against the fence, or right near the fence, squatted down, kind of in a darkened area. Since you're the only one that made their sneak, you're not seen. The other 3 are very much seen.
Do you have your knife? I was just thinking I could lead him past you and you could slit his throat.
Yeah, but you can't plan that.
Why not?
Because you just got caught by the guards, someone has to think on their feet to resolve this issue,
Fine,
or
go
we're going
ahead.
into combat. So,
La Basilica de San Pedro está aquí?
I'm going to...
Does your character speak any Italian, or are you speaking?
That was speaking in
in
Spanish.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm gonna feign getting sick.
I thought you weren't seen.
You weren't
Yes.
seen.
I know.
La Iglesia? ¿Dónde está?
No habla español.
Are you really talking to him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking at me and I'm like, I look like a dumbass tourist.
Okay, I'm not gonna feign getting sick then. Yeah, I'll let you finish up what you're doing.
He raises his rifle at you and he says, "Away from the fence. This is a restricted area." And he says it in clear Italian.
I would talk.
So
I
is he
would say
telling
the
us
same
to
thing that
like
he
get
did
out or move
Sherman.
further in?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Phil?
Is he motioning for us to
Oh,
move
wait.
out or in further.
Away from the fence.
I just started.
But away could be like we're going in further away from the fence, or get out and away from the fence.
Oh, out and away from the fence.
I'm moving away.
Oh. Yeah, I'm getting out.
Moving away.
Staying hidden.
You're going to stay hidden? Okay. He kind of follows along with you, not ever raising his rifle, but like making sure that you're walking away. He does not put his back to you quite yet, Rob, because I know what you're going to do.
I love my hands raised, but be like moving in slightly closer, like ¿Dónde está la iglesia, la basilica, basilica? Saint Peter, San Pietro, San Pedro.
He doesn't take his hand, or he takes his hand off. Takes his hand off of the firing, off of the trigger, and points. He says, "St. Peter's Basilica, leave." And he points towards it, and I mean, Spanish and Italian are close enough that you get the idea of what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
I get to do that now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, how
Did you say you got closer to him, asking about St. Peter's Basilica?
Yeah, but with my hands like raised up, just like you're like, where is it? Where is it?
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Roll.
I'm going to shank at him. What
Sure.
do I need to...
You need to knife him. So roll knife.
I don't have knife.
Bottom right hand corner.
Bottom right-hand corner.
Gun, knife. Do you have close combat? Which would be up above that.
Base.
Okay, you can't use close combat then? Hold on.
I mean, what are you good for?
Handguns.
Base knife is 25. I mean, you could shoot him,
That's a lot of noise.
but you'd also be right next to him,
That
and
has
you'd
a-
just execute him.
That's a loud of 7.
This is true. We established this earlier.
I mean, yeah, I could execute him, but then we got to worry about the second guard.
Okay, go ahead, and you can go ahead and use your knife skill. Go ahead, and you can double it since he has no idea you're there.
Okay.
Being nice.
Does he get the rogue bonus?
No.
Dang it.
He's technically not a rogue. He's an infiltrator. It's
I'm
a different
flanking
class.
though.
What'd you get?
94.
Oh.
Oh.
So you kind of come up and go to knife him, and it's at that point he realizes what's going on and turns and kind of just shimmies out of your way. George, you're right there. Do you want to try and disarm him?
Yeah, I'm
Which
not
would
trained
be
for it, but let's do it.
which would be fist or grapple, whichever one you want to use.
Oh, please, fist. Oh boy, that would be a 3.
Oh, what's your fist at?
50 base.
So that's
5 is less
This
than
is
10%.
30.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. So as he kind of turns, you just like punch him like kind of right in the outside of his forearm, and he drops his rifle altogether. But then he screams.
I was gonna say, is gonna go do one of these things.
That
George,
was the silence motion.
George, you have a chance to like pull a knife and just straight jack him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Go
yeah.
go ahead and roll.
That's my boy.
I
My boy
would
Blue.
grab the gun off the ground.
What's base on that?
A knife is 25.
38.
You know what? Go ahead and roll your damage on that. It's a D4 plus a 2 and your damage bonus. I don't think you have a damage bonus.
I do not.
I do.
Y'all suck at the fighting.
It's 3.
Okay. Phil, would you like to do anything?
Yes. So no one else is fired yet.
That's correct.
I'm not carrying a knife.
You can be, because there are plenty of knives in there. That's fine. I don't have a problem with you picking one, having picked one up.
You got an R2D2
All right.
knife.
Yes, you have an R2D2.
I'm going to use my astrometric droid to kill him.
Okay.
It's got a loud of 0.
I got a 19 under 75.
Whoa. Okay. That's not a fifth yet, is it? It's not quite a fifth. It's almost a fifth. Okay. Roll your damage, which would be a D4 plus 2 plus your damage bonus.
Here's my D4.
So you'll roll the D4
Damage
twice.
4 plus 2 is 6 plus 4 is 10.
He drops. You get him kind of like up under the chin. Just. He has a very.
I give the rest of the group a knowing smile as I.
He gives a very surprised look and then drops to the ground. But you guys are kind of
start moving him.
Yeah, you guys are kind of in the street.
Can I try to sneak back?
I need all 4 of you to roll luck.
11 under 55. Or 11 under 50, sorry.
Pass.
You got it?
20 under 65.
Okay.
Fail.
Excellent.
Luck is not
This is
my
the best
strong
part.
point.
You guys are going to be able to get him off the street, but as you're dragging him away, out of his shirt falls a cross, and you realize he's probably Catholic.
Cool.
Phil.
Oh.
So you can go ahead and
He was-
lose a sanity.
well, he was a hypocrite because he's
Was
doing
he?
evil things.
Was he? You don't know
He was
that.
doing ritualistic things.
So you are going to lose a sanity as you see this poor Catholic
okay.
that you just
Mark-
murdered.
Mark it on my sheet.
I'm marking it. Don't worry.
I go through his wallet and I take out the picture of his wife and kids and show it.
Can I sneak now? Back
Yeah.
into
So,
the-
real sincere question: are you guys going to roll him and take his stuff?
Yeah.
He's probably got a few bucks in money, but he does have papers,
Cool.
identification papers, which may be important later.
Yeah. Is there any like keys or anything?
Yeah. There's keys to his house and probably a vehicle of some sort.
Not to the slave pens.
The front gate to the compound, yes.
Okay.
And then he does have a handgun and a rifle.
We should do that. We should go through the front door. Nobody would
There's
expect
one
it.
more guard there
Oh.
who's probably coming. As you guys kind of pull him away, I need everybody to roll fieldcraft or hide.
Got it. 31
Failed.
under 70.
No, I have a base hide. It's like 10.
Okay. And what's your
Got a
point?
71.
Blake, did you make your hide
Just
or fieldcraft?
I made fieldcraft.
That's perfect.
Like I have a 77 fieldcraft. That last one was a complete botch. So, and this was almost a critical. It was 1 point away from a critical.
The other guard from the front gate comes around the corner with his rifle up, ready to fire. You guys have all seemingly hidden well.
Even if we failed?
Yeah, it was a group thing. I'm
Okay.
not going to do that. Like,
Gotcha.
yeah. And he kind of passes his rifle over. He sees blood on the ground because there was nothing you guys could have done. And he keeps going down the street, like, very nervous, very nervous. Actually, any of you can roll psychology.
Can you mark fieldcraft on my sheet?
I sure can.
Should we make like wolf sounds?
I have a pretty good persuade.
Oh man,
The werewolves got him.
Did you not get it?
I was 18 over 15.
Oh. So who did get it? Nobody?
No. I'm not trained in that.
Not trained in it.
Okay. Yeah, so he keeps going down the street and like quickly whipping from one side when he sees like an entryway or a darkened area back over to the other side, back and forth, like he doesn't know what's going on. He has passed you at this point. Do you want to do anything?
I want to get in the fence. Let's get in the fence. Can we just get in the fence?
The goal is to get past the fence, I would argue.
It's true.
I will look to Carlos and kind of make like a throat slitting
Okay.
motion.
You'll get 2 affirmative thumbs up from Carlos.
You get one from me too.
So are the three of
Really?
you going to run out
Or
there
no?
and stab him?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm gonna
looking
try to
for
sneak
an
down the
opening in
wall.
the fence.
Okay, so Shirley, Evelyn's like quietly booking it for the fence. The three of you are going to go up and mutually stab this dude to death
Rome has a time-honored tradition of multiple people stabbing one dude.
in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he like turns over, is like, "Oh, it's you."
Don't worry about rolling, guys. If you're all going to go murder this guy, 3 stabbers on one is, especially with Brian's ability to murder people with his hands.
Murder late.
Yeah. So you like the 3 of you, like one of you grabs his mouth, the other 2 start stabbing and then drag him over to where you left the other body.
We're
as
gonna
well.
search him again.
Yeah,
Can
same
you mark
thing.
close combat too?
What size are these individuals?
12 and 13 maybe. They're not huge. They're kind of bigger guys, but not that big.
Anybody want to change clothes?
I do.
That won't fit me.
Yeah, it would be a little tight on Brian.
And the holes are a little.
No, the one guy got stabbed in his face.
That's
Those
right.
clothes are untouched.
Oh, that's true.
Between
be
the two
blood
of
on
them,
the
you can
front.
get one unbloodied uniform.
Let's give it to the super spy over here.
Okay. Are you guys going in the front gate, or Evelyn? You get over to the fence, and
you're all alone.
and you're kind of like tapping on it lightly, and one of the boards is loose. You could probably pull it and the board next to it out, and even Brian is going to be able to slip through there. It'd be a little tough on Brian. So like a quick exit through that for Brian is going to suck balls, but for everybody else it'd be all right.
Can we unlock the front gate first?
You could, however, leaving the front gate unlocked is probably going to get noticed. The fact that there are no guards there and it's unlocked, that's a problem. If it's just
Well, we don't have to like open it.
right, but if they go, why are there no guards here? And then someone goes up and goes, why is the gate here? That is a huge alarm. Whereas it's just, where are the guards?
Because the puddles of blood aren't going to tell them where the guards
The
are.
puddles of blood are around the corner. They may have to go look for those.
I kicked dust over them.
Yeah, I mean you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. I follow her.
All right.
But Astor is dressed as an Italian guard now, yes?
Yes, and it is also assumed that there are still guards inside on patrol, and not all of them are going to go down this easily.
Astor,
Just
actually, you speak Italian, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
what is your
how's-
Italian
how's-
at?
60.
Oh, well, it's relatively good Italian.
That's I point out that's all like my Spanish is 65, so
Mine is 60.
Wow, what's your education?
I don't know, not great.
Yeah,
does
it's
that
like a
even
13, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 13.
Yeah, that's What now, Shirley?
Like you were equating Spanish with a bad education.
That's how you get your
That's
own
my
language.
Native, my native.
When
tongue.
you get your native tongue, it's 5 times your education.
Oh.
So, like, obviously, if you haven't gone through 4 years of college and then master's degree, you don't have your
So my French is 80.
yeah. So like
Gotcha.
your what is the thing where you have all the words in it?
Fluency.
Not fluency, where you have a pool of words.
Vocabulary?
You pull. Thank you.
Oh, I started.
Look,
thinking
the
about
English major
Japanese.
has the answer.
Whoa.
I was about
Your
to say-
vocabulary is limited, and that's where the education comes in. So, like, Carlos may not understand a deep philosophical paper. The vocabulary may just be beyond him.
But what I'm saying is like, so if he speaks it at 60, speaks good Italian.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially like he went through freshman year of college and dropped out.
Yeah,
That's his Italian level.
but that'd be enough to get by.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you guys go in through the fence, correct?
Sure.
So you're between two buildings, both barracks. The one to the right is the office, and then in front of you across is a barracks for the soldiers, the scrap heap, and then off to the left is going to be the shed, but you can't quite see it from where you're at. And
Isn't
it's-
our goal to get into the shed?
Yeah, and alert everything around.
Carlos
us
is going to
forever.
do that all the time, every time.
Gotcha.
I've already pulled the pin on 2 of them. I'm just keeping them. Got the spoon strapped.
Whoa.
So where do you guys want to go? Even if you don't have the keys to the prison barracks, which you probably don't, you might be able to go underneath and maybe find a loose floorboard.
I can try locksmith.
Same thing there, but you're also going to be out in the open, unlocking the door where the patrols might see you. Same thing with the office. You might be able to go up through the floor. If you go out, you'll have to be very, very quick about it, or you could be caught.
Okay, so if we're gonna try this, let's get in the shed first. Let's get down and see what we're dealing with. If on our way out, if we have a second, we can release the prisoners and move from there.
Are we all agreeing to that?
Sounds fine.
Yes. 'Cause
Are
then we
there
can
light
open the gate.
sources that we can see right now?
Disable.
Portable ones?
I would assume you guys brought torches.
But he wants to take out stuff that's in the area. If we could take
No.
out portable.
No, I want to
lights.
make sure that we could see when we went down.
Yeah,
Oh.
you guys will have
Plus-
flashlights.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought we were on the same page, Phil, and then we weren't.
Sorry, I'm getting to the section with there we go. All right, so you guys are going to go. You guys, give me a sneak or fieldcraft, whichever one is best.
Yeah,
for
we've been
you.
doing great at those.
Hey, you know what? It's not my fault.
40 under 70. 40 under 75.
Fail.
I failed by 5.
You rolled an 82.
I did. That's like the second time tonight. I rolled an 82.
Good night.
29 under 20. Over 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's over. I'll let you have
Over.
it since Shirley got close. I'm not letting her mark the box though. You guys sneak up over to the shed door. It's locked, Would someone like to unlock that?
Working on it.
Get your
Got a
keys.
couple of lockpicks right here as I jam the grenades.
I did not get the locksmith.
But don't you have a set of keys?
Try. Yeah, you can try the keys, but they don't work.
Oh.
What
Okay.
about a jury rig or mechanical repair as a proxy?
I'll let you use a jury rig, but it might get loud.
I could.
I'm just letting you know.
Missed it by 3.
Okay. Would someone like to use
What?
locksmith again?
Yes.
While they're doing that, I'm going to check
Got
the
it, that's
structural integrity of the building.
The building itself is pretty solid. It is wood. I mean, you could bodily throw yourself into it until it broke.
Are there any like trucks or vehicles like actually in the compound?
No, there are not.
It's unlocked now.
Okay. Who's going in first?
Joe. I'm
Who's
sneaking
Joe?
in.
Who's Joe?
I'm saying yo.
Oh, okay. I was
But
like,
in-
who the hell
But in
is
a jackass
Joe?
fashion. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to sneak in.
Okay. Give me a second.
And I can wave you guys in.
Okay.
My friend Mr. Pineapple is going in first.
I have a pen. I have an apple.
I remove the pin. I have pineapple grenade.
Wow, really?
Wow, really? What does that mean?
Pin, pineapple.
I'm having
boom.
trouble finding the information here, and I don't understand why. That's okay. The tunnels have electric lights screwed into the walls at regular intervals as you start in.
So my sneak isn't going to work very well.
Right there, but there's no one in here. It's
What if
clear there's no one in
He
here.
puts like a cardboard box or something.
I could totally solid
Yeah.
snake this.
So the way it was locked outside, it was chained through the door handles with a lock on it. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like somebody could have been in here and unlocked that.
Mhm.
The catacombs themselves are standard, pretty Roman catacombs as you go down. The dig site itself is really just the shed is over a hole in the ground where there are steps down. It looks like they dug down to this, realized they'd hit some sort of archaeological thing, sent in an archaeologist, and then bad things started
Filthy
happening.
hobbitses.
So, the air in the tunnel is warm and slightly damp with an odd musty smell to it. The farther and deeper you go down, the thicker and heavier the air becomes. Eventually, the tunnels quit being the catacombs you're used to seeing, and this is probably about 20-25 minutes into the walk, and it's been pretty solid one trail, especially with the lights. You've been kind of following those along. Eventually, the tunnels stop being the catacombs and turn into, go from smooth tool-hewn walls and become wider and more irregular in their depths, and they're more natural cave-like. As you get into that area, you find strange carvings, obviously ancient. They begin to appear on the wall. Shirley, you recognize many of the symbols as Atlantean. You don't know quite what they mean, but you do recognize them. These are also there are also cruder, fresher carvings, and odd petroglyphs, which are rock carvings. So instead of like I believe it's you can carve in. And this is like carving around and it's out, and that's what a petroglyph is. Am I right, George? You are. No. Is it just a carving into the stone?
Just like tapped into it.
Oh, okay. And then you also find sudden, shocking splashes of dark color. That is very likely blood in some areas on the walls, and this is in the non-man-made caverns. There we go. Sorry. Eventually, you come to a rock fall that the clearly the Germans have been stuck at for a little bit. They've been working on pulling it out. There is blood a little bit of everywhere here. While you guys are kind of looking at it without taking a whole lot of time, you do start to hear some things. Can I get everybody to roll listen?
7.
I don't
Pass.
hear a thing. I am way too intrigued with these cards.
Just under 25. So it's not a crit.
Okay. Did you get it, Phil?
Yes, please mark it.
Okay. You're starting to, as you're kind of standing there watching and you're not hearing your footfalls anymore, you start to hear quiet what sounds like whisperings and scratchings and rasping noises. And is anybody trained in track?
No.
No.
I don't think Shirley is either.
Yeah, we need Harry Potter to decipher this.
Okay.
Nicked.
All of you guys can make idea rolls then.
Missed. Freaking 92 over
Got it.
80.
Missed.
By a lot.
Phil, did you get it?
I got it, yes.
Okay, so Evelyn, you and Blake are both aware that it's very likely you're being followed by something.
By one something or
At least one something.
some things?
It could very well be more than one.
How wide are the passages that we've been going through?
It's irregular now. They go from a little bit wider than you need them to be, Phil, like as your size 15, a little bit wider than that to 3 or 4 people across. Right now in this area, you're kind of like a 2 across. Right here, where the rockfall has happened.
So I'm assuming that oh crap. His name starts with an A.
Astor.
Astor. Astor's been taking kind of the lead, and I've been kind of watching the tail.
Okay.
So, when I'm relatively certain that we're being followed, I'll mention it to the group, and I'll start looking for places where we're if not defensible, we could maybe ambush.
There are some side passages. You could go down a couple of those, but it's questionable on where they might lead. And you're going to lose the lights that you've got, and you're going to be down to flashlights.
I could hide in something dark.
Well, no, I'm saying, yeah, perhaps if we go down those
shaky.
and don't use lights and look for this thing to
pew
walk
pew.
through the lighted area, that we could ambush it.
It's going to be really dark in those areas, so...
No, but I'm saying, like,
yeah.
I see it in the lighted
see.
area. I come out of the
I
dark
see.
and get it in the lighted area.
Let's have you roll... Let's call that fieldcraft. Roll fieldcraft for me.
Also a question. If we are firing off guns down here, are we far enough underground that they probably won't hear it up there?
Give me a knowledge roll. Or unless you have geography. Or geology.
I passed my fieldcraft roll.
Okay.
I passed my knowledge.
All right. You're going to be way far down enough. You've been walking long enough, and even if it echoes, it's not going to be loud enough coming out of that shed.
Okay.
Yes, Phil, you feel comfortable that you can set up some sort of ambush. It would probably take a minute or two to get everybody else prepared because clearly Carlos and Evelyn have no idea how to hide or sneak. It's become very, very clear. And actually, at this point, it's a good point for us to take a break and stop. We will talk to you guys next week. And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us over on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/nerdsdomain and twitter.com/nerdsdomain. You can also check out our site at nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Passion Nerdly for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain and check out our shirts at TeePublic.